So a lot of these systems of equations are going to be 3 variables with 3 equations. So a couple of things that are important. We're going to talk about row echelon form. Row echelon form, we have one equation that has 3 variables, one equation that has 2 variables, and one that has 1. When it's in row echelon form, it's easier for us to solve because we can just use back substitution. I would take my answer that we have, so the 1 variable equation, we would take that, plug it into the one with 2 variables. Find the second variable, then plug it into the one with 3 variables. You can only solve for 1 more variable than what you have. So if I have 1 variable, I couldn't plug it into the one with 3 variables and solve for 2 at a time. So this is row echelon form. We write our answer as an ordered triple, so it'll go X, Y, then Z with parentheses. So example 1, we're going to solve our system of linear equations using back substitution. So we take our 1 variable and we plug it into the equation with 2 variables. We have y plus 4 times 2 equals 7. Y plus 8 equals 7. Subtract 8 on both sides. So what does y equal? -1. How do we find x? We're going to plug in y and z into our first equation. So we have x minus 2 times -1 plus 3 times 2 equals 9. So x plus 2 plus 6 equals 9. X plus 8 equals 9. Subtract 8 on both sides. So x equals 1. How would we write our answer? 1, -1, 2. We write our answer as x, y, z. In example 1 on the next page, we want to show that the ordered triple is a solution. So it'll give you like an answer. You have to verify that it is a solution. If it is a solution, it has to work in all 3 equations. If it doesn't work in any of the equations, then it's not a solution. But you have to check all 3. So the first number I want to plug into my x. Second number we plug into the y. The third number we plug into the z to verify. So here we have 1 minus 3 times 0 plus 2 equals 3. 3 times 0 would just be 0, so that goes away. So we have 1 plus 2, which would be 3, equals 3. Is that true? Yep, so it works in the first one. Let's check the second. We have 2 times x, which is 1, plus 0 minus 5 times 2 equals -8. So 0 is just going to go away. We've got 2 minus 10 equals -8. Is 2 minus 10 -8? Yep, so -8 equals -8. That's true. So the second one works. Let's test the third one. So x is 1 minus 0 plus 3 times 2 equals 7. 0 goes away. We've got 1 plus 6 equals 7. What's 1 plus 6? Does 7 equal 7? Yes. So if it works in all 3 equations, is it an ordered triple? Yes. So it has to work in all 3 in order to be an ordered triple. So example 3, we have 3 equations with 3 variables. This is, I would say, the hard type of questions from this section. We always want to pick one variable and stick with that to eliminate first. Which variable do you want to pick here? Sure, let's pick x. You could eliminate the y's first. You could do the z's first. There's no right or wrong way to start, but there are like easier ways. You always want to pick one where you have a variable that the leading coefficient's 1, because that's going to be the easiest to work with. I'm going to label my equations. So we have 1, 2, 3. Now we want to pick 2 of our equations and eliminate the x's first. Which 2 equations should we pick? 1 and 2. So 1 is 2x plus y plus 3z is equal to 9. And 2 is x minus 2y plus z equals 8. Do the x's eliminate? No. How could we get the x's to eliminate? Awesome. We want to multiply the second one by -2. That way they're the same number but opposites. So our new second equation is going to be -2x plus 4y minus 2z is equal to -16. Be super careful with the math. If you mess up one little sign along the way, it could throw off the whole rest of the question. So be careful with the math that you've got going on. Do the x's cancel now? Yeah. Yes. What is y plus 4y? 5y. What's 3z minus 2z? Just z equals, what's 9 minus 16? Minus 7. Perfect. Now that step that we just did, we have to do twice. You have to do this step twice. And you have to eliminate the same variable that you did the first time. So we picked equations 1 and 2. We want to pick 2 different equations, but we still have to eliminate the x's. Which 2 equations do you want to do next? Sure, it doesn't matter. Again, there's no wrong way to do this. Just make sure you pick the same variables. So you said 2 and 3? Let's do it. So 2 is x minus 2i plus z equals 8. And 3 is -4x plus 3y plus 2z equals -4. Do the x's cancel? No. Let's multiply by a number to get the x's to cancel. What would we need to multiply by? 4. So everything here gets multiplied by 4. So then our new second equation, I'm going to write it down below here to make it easier for us to cancel. We've got 4x minus 8y plus 4z equals 32. Let's combine these together. Do the x's cancel now? Yeah. Yep. 3y minus 8y? -5y plus 6z equals 28. Yeah. What should we do next? We want to combine these 2 equations now. So now we have 2 equations with 2 variables. We're going to combine them together. So we have 5y plus z equals -7 and -5y plus 6z equals 28. Now we want to pick a variable here to eliminate. Which variable should we eliminate? The y's. The y's are already set up perfectly for us to eliminate them. If they weren't the same number but opposites, you would just have to multiply your equations to make them the same but opposite. But here they're already set up for us, so the y's cancel. Z plus 6z is what? 7z equals -7 plus 28. Divide both sides by 7. Z equals 3. Awesome. Now here's the new part that wasn't in the video from Thursday. So we're going to talk about how to leave our answer in row echelon form. So in row echelon form, we talked about this on the first slide. You want to leave an equation with 3 variables, one with 2, and one with 1. So do we have an equation that has 3 variables? Where?
Wait. 3 variables is the letter or number?
3 variables are the letters.
That's all of them.
All of where?
Never mind.
We got lots of equations on this page. The beginning.
Yeah, that's what I
I know what you meant, but there's lots of equations here. One of the 3 original equations, you could pick any one of these 3. I like the second one because the numbers are smallest in that second one, but pick any one of the 3. When you leave your answer in row echelon form, there's many different ways to write it. You could write the first one, but you just need one equation with 3 variables. So I'm going to pick the second one here. So we have x minus 2y plus z equals 8. So I picked this one because the numbers are the smallest. Now do we have an equation where we have two variables in it? Where? We have two options. What color are they on my page? One of the two orange ones, one of the two orange highlighted ones. I'm going to pick this one because the numbers are smaller. But again, you could have picked the other highlighted one. That's totally fine. So we have 5y plus z equals -7. Tommy, do we have an equation with just one variable? Z equals 3. So this is row echelon form. On the quiz and test, it's going to ask you to leave your answer in row echelon form. We want one equation with 3 variables, one with 2, one with 1. From here, we still need to solve. So we're going to use back substitution to solve. So this is the same that we did the first example today. We're going to take our equation with one variable, plug it in where? Into the second equation that has 2 variables. So we have 5y plus z, which z is 3, equals -7. Subtract 3 on both sides. 5y equals -10. Then what? So what does y equal? -2. How do we find x? We're going to plug in z into the first equation and y into the first equation. I'll do that here. So we have x minus 2 times y, which is -2, plus z, which is 3, equals 8. So x plus 4 plus 3 equals 8. X plus 7 equals 8. Subtract 7 on both sides. What does x equal? 1. How would we write our answer? 1, comma, -2, comma, 3. X, then y, then z. So there's 2 ways that you need to write your answer. As an ordered triple, like this, and in row echelon form, like this. On the quiz and on the test, it'll ask for both. So you need to write your answer in row echelon form and as an ordered triple. What happens if we get like 0 equals 0? If all of our variables cancel and we have 0 equals 0. Infinitely many solutions.
For one of them, it's already infinitely many. No, it's always all.
If your variables end up canceling and you just have 0 equals 0, you can stop there. Your answer is infinitely many solutions. What if we had 0 equals a number? So let's say 0 equals 6. This would be no solution. What if we had like x equals 0? That could be a solution. This could work. So this is okay. Keep going. Find the rest of them. We would have 0, comma, the other answers. 0 could be a solution. 0 could be an answer for x. It could be an answer for y. It could be an answer for z. It could be an answer for all 3 of them. 0 is a number, so don't get scared. Don't think that it's no solution if you get 0. 0 can be an answer. Just if you have no more variables, that's when you need to be careful if it's infinitely many solutions or no solutions.